Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 19th of April 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Friday's morning session where we're going to have a look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. So I hope, I do understand that today is a Good Friday, so happy upcoming Easter for all the Catholics. So but I do understand that the markets are closed today, so some of the markets are closed, or should I say the majority of the markets are closed, but we'll still have a look what's happening in the FX world. And but before we start jumping into the charts, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute an investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on here is the DXY. So the dollar index yesterday had a fantastic rally, pushed higher and almost managed to reach one of our targets here around the 97.52. It managed to reach the area slightly below that at around 97.49, 48 approximately there. So basically, this is where it met its resistance, and now you can see that it's sliding back down a little bit, correcting in a way. The big question here is going to be where it's going to find this floor, because for now, looking at this, it seems that it could continue traveling higher, especially going into next week as well. So so we may see this one traveling a little bit higher. We do have a nice good potential area of support here near the 97.30 zone, approximately there, 30, 32, something like that. It could play out as well. It could kind of provide some additional support for this index, but again, for now, we're gonna continue monitoring it, because we could see some retracement here. The only thing is that we even could see a retracement back down towards this level right here near the 97.20 zone. The one that I've got highlighted here, the upper one, and in a way we could then maybe see a retracement and rebound from that area. But again, of course, this is a bit of speculation here. In a way, if you want to be a little bit more on the cautious side, you could in a way wait until we see a nice good pop above this level right here, above the 97.52, and this way the index would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and then we could target slightly higher areas like the 97.70 or even the 97.8890 zone. And just to show you what that level was, the last level was in the past, and that marks the highs of the November, near the highs of November of last year. So basically a very good potential target here, but again, like I said, for those who are more on the cautious side, you could in a way wait until we see a push above this area right here in order to kind of aim, or in order to kind of get slightly more comfortable with higher levels, or wait for and try to find a potential bouncing ground. So as I said, one of the bouncing grounds could be this one here, the first one that we're going to be looking at, the 97.32. But if this fails to withhold, we may see a bit of a deeper slide here, potentially testing this 97.20 zone and then maybe rebounding and pushing higher. Now, if we do see a drop below the 97.20, now this is where it could turn out a little bit bad for the bulls here, because we may see this one traveling all the way there to test the this upside support line, this tentative upside support line taken from the lows of January last year. So in a way, for now, of course, we are more positive than negative on this one, but we are going to be waiting for a confirmation break first on this one. In terms of jumping into another interesting instrument here, which is Bitcoin. Now, I did cover Bitcoin this week, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this little level here, the 5,220 zone, approximately there. You can see that the Bitcoin managed to pop above that level, because that level was acting as a very good area of resistance here back on the 15th of April. So on the 16th, the next day, the Bitcoin traveled above it and kind of continues to trade above this level here, even though it did have a few retracements to the downside, but still this 5,220 zone approximately there continues to act as a good area of support. Now the pricing that I'm looking at here is from the Bitfinex exchange. So yep guys, you might have maybe slightly different levels, but nevertheless the picture here remains the same. So for us, looking at this, basically you can see that the crypto is currently stuck here between these two levels, between the 4,950 on the downside and the 5,440 level, 4050, something like that. Actually, let me just adjust this quickly to the 50 zone, so just to kind of make it a nice beautiful number here. And also it kind of is marked by the intraday swing high here of the 10th of April. So basically, in order for us, let's say, to start aiming higher in the near term, we would like to see a nice good push above this level here, above this 5,450 level, and only then we will target higher areas like the 5,750 or above that. In terms of the downside, well, from the very short-term perspective, what you could do here is keep an eye on this little 5,220 zone. If we see a drop here below that, we may revisit the lower side of this little range here at 4,950 area, approximately there. If of course in this situation, if we see a drop below this 5,220, for now, probably the main scenario here is to continue observing it. It is a very tricky one at the moment, but again, on the other hand, it is showing some good signs, finally some good signs. So it's kind of creating these higher highs. Overall, if we're looking at here from because when it dropped here in December, I mean, since then it reversed to the upside and continues to make these higher lows. So let's see how it's going to play out, but that's the game plan. This is the short-term game plan for now. And yep, keep an eye on the price action. Euro dollar. Now, very quickly on this one, I was talking about this one yesterday a lot, and we did see that sell-off yesterday when the German manufacturing PMIs came out, and also in my traders tea time yesterday, I was telling you to watch this level here, the 1.122830 zone, approximately there. You can see that basically what I was saying, that we may see a nice hold up around here. The rate might retrace back up, and for now it seems that it's playing this game, it's playing this scenario. It's trying to push higher, but this is going to be a very important level for us to watch, the 1.1250, the area around there. So don't forget that we may see maybe a bit of an overshoot here, but if the 4-hour candle continues to stay, if the body of the 4-hour candle continues to stay here below this 1.1250, then we may see another leg of selling here, which in a way could bypass the 1.1228 zone. So keep your eyes on this one. This is the scenario. In terms of the upside for us, in order to at least start considering higher levels, we need to see a nice good push back above the 1.1280, and then we will target this downside resistance line, a bit of a tentative one, I do understand that, but if it continues to hold, then we may see something like this happening. But if this is going to be the moment where it's going to break it again and continue trading above it, then the next target for us is going to be around the 1.1325 level. Now, this is where it could become even more exciting, because if we see a push above the 1.1325 level, this is where we could then target higher areas. So for now, guys, for now, from the very short-term perspective, keep your eyes on the 1.1250. If it continues to hold the rate down, then yep, we could see another leg of selling here. So yep, keep your eyes on this one. USDJPY, very quickly on this one, continues to trade within this little range here between the 111.85 and the 112.10 zones. For now, we're just going to be waiting for this one to get out of it. Even if it drops again below the 111.85 zone. We need to see that 4-hour candle kind of closing below this level, because you can see that this week we already did have a few overshoots here, but kind of the 4-hour candle never stayed below it, never closed below it. So that's why we are going to be waiting for that to happen. But again, even if that happens, still the downside could be limited due to this upside support line, this short-term tentative upside support line taken from the low of the 24th of March. So keep your eyes on this one. Excuse me. Keep your eyes on this one. That's in terms of the downside. In terms of the upside, a nice good pop above the 112.10 could lead the pair towards a retest of this 112.20 zone. And just let me show you what that level was here in the past, and that was the low near the lows of the 6th of December and also next 7th of December. But if that is just seen as a temporary obstacle for the bulls, then yep, the next target for us is around the 112.65 level, and that level is marked near the highs of the 19th of December. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. Very interesting developments here. Keep your eyes on this little range here that we've got, and let's see which way they're going to break out to. And the last pair I want to quickly touch on, and that's USDCHF. Now, as you can see, and some probably could already say that, well, we are quite overbought here. Of course, we were saying that already here on the 17th of April, where the pair was already also looking quite overbought. So in a way, yes, we may see a bit of a correction here. Now the correction where we're targeting here is potentially towards this little level here, the 1.0125 area, which marks the high of the or should I say the highest point of March this year. So in a way, what could happen here is we could see this deeper slide lower, test of that area, and then if the bears struggle to push the pair below that, then we may see the bulls stepping in here again and driving this pair higher towards these this week's highs near the 1.0160, but slightly above that we do have the 1.0170 area, and I do understand it's only about 10 pips above that, but just to show you what that level was here in the past, and that was basically we need to go back into 2017 here, where you will find that this was the highest point of March of 2017. So that's why it's also becoming quite interesting resistance level. So that's why we're not going to drag it too much to the upside and just keep it short and simple. In terms of the downside, if it drops below the 1.0125 level, then well, keep your eyes on this next little potential target of support near the 1.0110. Now if this gets broken, now this is where it could turn out to be quite ugly. We could see maybe a further decline here, move lower, initially aiming of course for the 1.0090 level, 85 approximately there, but if that fails to withhold, then yep, a further slide lower could be possible, eventually maybe even reaching this upside support line taken from the low of the 20th of March. So that's for now guys. The most important thing is to watch the 1.0125 today. I do understand that we could have a very quiet day today. If the pair continues to trade around here, then yep, watch out for this level next week, and of course keep your eyes on this little high here, this week's high near the 1.0160, because a nice good pop above that could retest the March high, the 2017's March high near the 1.0170, and then we'll, of course, if we see such a move, then we'll take it from there. We'll reevaluate it again and see what it wants to do. But again, like I said, from the very short-term perspective, of course, it looks quite overbought. But again, don't underestimate this pair, because you can see that on the 17th we also were overbought and still traveled higher. Okay guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for sticking around and watching until the end. And if you want to join me later on today, I will be doing a Traders Tea Time. So that's, yep, that as always 13:15 GMT time. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.